Of all entities ever caught on camera, none are as anatomically impossible as the Nightcrawlers. First appearing on a home security system in Fresno, these beings have baffled biologists and forensic video analysts for years. If there's one piece of footage that keeps resurfacing in late night forums and forensic video circles, it's this, the so-called Nightcrawlers. They're not just weird looking, they're anatomically wrong. The first widely shared clip surfaced from a home security system in Fresno, California. It's a familiar setting, static camera, harsh infrared, grainy shadows, and a quiet street it looks completely ordinary until something moves through a frame. Look closely at how it walks. There's no torso, no arms, no shoulders, just two long, fabric like legs supporting a small head shaped mass. The motion isn't a stumble and it isn't a bounce. It's smooth, too smooth, like the creature is gliding through shallow water instead of stepping on concrete. Now here's the detail most people miss on first watch. The legs don't lift the way human legs do. Instead, they seem to stretch and pull forward, and if the joints are distributed along the entire length. If this is a costume, it's not behaving like fabric. If it's a puppet, it's not behaving like something pulled by rigid strings. The mystery deepens with a second sighting, this time from Yosemite. Different location, different camera, similar silhouette. But this clip had something the Fresno footage didn't. There are two of them. Watch the smaller one. Its movement is perfectly synchronized with a larger entity. Not similar, not roughly matching. It is as if the smaller one is locked into the same rhythm, the same way, the same timing, like a mirrored motion or a coordinated pair. The overall shape, notice how stable the head remains relative to the stride. How the forward leg seems to extend before the body shifts. And the absence of the wobble. A tall narrow figure should fight gravity. This thing doesn't. Skeptics have tried to recreate this. You'll find attempts using stilts, two-person costumes, even puppetry rigs, but the recreations tend to break down in the same places. A person on stilts becomes top-heavy, with a visible correction in hips and shoulders. A puppet needs either strings or rods, and those systems usually introduce jitter or unnatural jerks. Costumes wrinkle, drag, and shift. You see the human mechanics underneath. In the original footage, that human underneath feeling never appears. The movement is balanced. In the original footage, that human underneath feeling never appears. The movement is balanced, lightweight, and almost effortless, like gravity has less authority over it. And then there's the question no one loves asking, because it turns the whole thing from hoax analysis into something more unsettling. If this isn't a person, and it isn't a ghost, what kind of living thing moves like that? What if sightings cluster around open spaces, suburban edges, rural roads, national parks, places where you can cross distance unseen? Why does it look like it's migrating? Maybe the simplest answer is still the most uncomfortable one. Some things aren't meant to be understood, they are only meant to be seen for a few seconds through a cheap camera under the cover of night, and then they are gone. In 2001, a family visited Triangular Field at Gettysburg. If you've never heard of it, it's one of the spots locals and tour guides bring up again and again, not because it's the most dramatic looking place, but because of what people report here. Visitors have claimed sudden cold spots, disorientation, and electronics acting strangely. Some paranormal investigators also describe the area as having unusual magnetic readings, which matters because magnetic interference can cause cameras to glitch, but it can also become a convenient excuse when something shows up on tape that nobody can explain. And that's what makes this clip so unsettling. This wasn't filmed by a ghost hunting crew, just a family with a consumer camcorder recording a normal visit until the footage captures something that, more than 20 years later, still hasn't been cleanly debunked. These aren't just orbs,
Right there.
lens
See?
flares, or dust.
Look.
You can make out human shaped figures moving in a coordinated line. And here's the detail that makes people pause. They don't look like they're walking on the ground. They look like they're moving through the trees, as if the brush isn't slowing them down the way it should. If these were hikers, we'd expect the uneven pacing, stops, turns, someone lagging behind, but the movement is steady, purposeful, almost rehearsed. What's the rhythm of the movement? It has a cadence that feels familiar, like a military march. And look carefully at the figures as they pass between branches. For a few frames, you can catch what looks like period clothing silhouette. Some people swear they can see the outline of a cap. Others claim they can make out something long in the hands of one figure, something shaped like a rifle. Is that real detail, or is it your brain trying to complete a shape in low resolution video? That question is the core of why this footage still gets discussed. Also, there is a paranormal theory, time sleep. There's another explanation people bring up, one that sounds like science fiction. They call it time sleep, a moment where the past and the present overlap, not ghost in a traditional sense, but a replay. Like the environment briefly holds onto a pattern and under the right conditions, it shows itself. If that's what this is, then this family didn't just record something spooky. They recorded a fragment of 1863, moving quietly through the trees, still marching, still there. So what do you think you're seeing? A trick of distance and dusk lighting? A group of people in the background? Or something tied to Gettysburg that refuses to stay buried? Rewatch it. Stay on the tree line and pay attention to the rhythm because that's the part that doesn't feel random. So what do you think you're seeing? In the province of Santa Fe, Argentina, a group of teenagers were filming a casual video in a backyard. What began as a normal night ended with a capture of one of the most disturbing entities ever caught on a cell phone. Cause I don't think that's a Santa's elf. Watch the background. While the group is distracted, something shows up right at the edge of the yard where the light dies. At first, it blends in with a grain of the footage, like it's just a compression glitch or a stray animal cutting through. But then it moves, and it doesn't move like an animal. It's low to the ground, fast, and weirdly jointed. A skittering motion like it's pulling itself forward in short bursts instead of running. It's also way too small to be a normal person, but the shape doesn't read like a cat or dog either. The proportions are what really mess with you. Limbs that look too long for the torso, and angles that don't line up with a kid crouched in a hoodie. And here's the part people ignore when they're busy zooming in. Listen to the teens. That reaction is pure fight or flight. Laughter cuts off instantly. and a panic hits before anyone even has time to explain what they saw, which is extra unsettling because whatever they are running from is smaller than them. What makes this story stick is that Santa Fe, Argentina, isn't the first time the internet seen something small and wrong pop up from the dark. There are multiple clips and posts floating around that claim to show a strange, fast moving figure in or around Santa Fe. Some people call it the Santa Fe creature, and others frame it as unknown animal or something inhuman. In South American folklore, you'll hear about small entities like duendes, naughty, humanish little beings that hide in homes, crawl spaces, and the places where light doesn't reach. In rural stories, they are blamed for missing objects, weird noises, and the feeling that something is watching from the corner of the room. Some people even try to connect sightings in Argentina to bigger legends like the lobizon, a werewolf-like figure in Argentina folklore, especially when a clip goes viral near full moon. It doesn't match the size here, but you already know how the internet works. So, here's the question. Is this just a trick of the camera? A small animal caught at the perfect cursed angle? Or someone messing around? Or did a group of teenagers accidentally record something they weren't supposed to notice? Because if it's real, then we're not as alone in our own backyards as we think. And I'm sorry, but that is not Santa's elf.